Cookery 10, Quarter 4, Module 3, Guidelines in Marinating Meats, Types of Marinades, Basic Components of Marinade. The word marinade comes from the Latin word marinus, meaning of the sea. It is a liquid solution in which food is soaked, particularly meat, before cooking. The marinade adds flavor to foods and makes them more tender by beginning the breakdown process of cooking. The breakdown allows fluids and seasonings to enter the meat so it will maintain its moisture during grilling and not dry out as quickly. Guidelines in marinating meats. A marinade should be thin enough in consistency to penetrate the meat. A general rule of marinade to meat ratio is 1/2 cup of marinade per pound of meat. Any marinade that contains acid, alcohol, or salt should not be used for very long because it will chemically cook or denature the food in it. Marinades that contain citrus juices, especially lemon or lime juice, should be used for only 2 hours or less. Always marinate in the refrigerator. Do not marinate in a metal container since the acidic mixture can react with it. Marinating times vary depending on the type, cut, and size of the meat. Discard any unused marinade and never reuse marinades. Types of marinades. Acidic marinade. Wine, vinegar, tomato, and citrus juice are all considered acidic marinades. The acid in these liquids work to loosen the protein bonds in the meat, making the meat more tender, so that these juices can then be absorbed. Dairy marinades. The calcium in the dairy works to age the meat by activating its enzymes, making the meat more tender. Try using buttermilk or yogurt. Enzyme marinades. Using kiwi, papaya, pineapple, and other fruits that contain papain or bromelain are perfect marinades. These proteins break down the meat to make it more tender. Keep in mind that using this type of marinade may make your meat dry and tough if left to marinate too long. Wet versus dry marinades. Wet marinating involves covering the meat with a liquid in order to tenderize it and prevent it from going bad. Wet marinating should only be done for a short period of time and should always be left to marinate in the fridge. Never use salt in a wet marinade as this can end up sucking the natural juices. Dry marinades, also known as dry rubs or barbecue spices, are a great opportunity to pack even more flavor. Using dried herbs and a variety of spices, the main ingredient in a dry marinade is salt. The salt in a dried rub works to break down the proteins of the meat so that other flavors can be absorbed. To dry rub a piece of meat, it is important to first coat it with a lard, oil, or water so that the rub can be pressed onto the surface. Three components of marinades. Acid. It helps break down the connective tissue in meat. which can slightly tenderize the meat and allow deeper penetration. Oil. It helps transfer fat-soluble flavors into the meat, and so also it helps the meat retain moisture. Herb and or spice. It provides a deep flavor on which other flavors can be built.